Welcome back to another episode of The Quest for Self. I'm your host, Allie. Have you ever gone on a date and thought everything went great? You laughed, you connected, maybe even talked about seeing each other again. Then silence, no text, no follow up, absolutely nothing. It hurts a bit. It might even sting. That confusion, that what happened? It's normal to question it all. After a few days, then it hits you. You've been ghosted. Today, I want to talk about why ghosting says nothing about your worth and everything about someone else's emotional capacity. Before we dive into how to move forward, let's first get clear on what exactly ghosting is. Ghosting is when someone you've built a connection with suddenly disappears. No explanation, no goodbye, just silence. And it doesn't only happen in dating. It shows up in friendships, at work, even after job interviews, anywhere there's been emotional or social connection. One minute, everything seems fine. The next, you're left with questions. And people ghost for many reasons. They fear confrontation, feel guilty, or simply lack the emotional maturity to communicate honestly. While it's easy to take ghosting personally, most of the time it has nothing to do with you. Rejection triggers same parts of the brain as physical pain, which is why it stings. But that pain doesn't mean you did something wrong. It means you're human. So, now that we understand what ghosting is, let's talk about why it really isn't about you. When I first experienced ghosting, it was after what I thought was a really sweet date in Spain. We brought our dogs, had dinner at a cozy restaurant in my neighborhood, laughed, everything felt natural and easy. And then nothing. No message, no follow up, just silence. And this was my first date after taking a 4-month break of dating. That high from a great connection can feel electric. And when it suddenly disappears, your mind goes into overdrive. Did I do something wrong? Did I say the wrong thing? Our brains hate uncertainty, so we try to fill in the gaps, often by blaming ourselves. But here's the truth: ghosting isn't about you. It's not about being too much or not enough. It's about them, their avoidance, their discomfort, their inability to handle honest communication. Their silence reflects their limits, not your worth. And once you really grasp that, it becomes so much easier to stop personalizing someone else's behavior. I have been ghosted twice. Once by that guy in Spain, and another time by someone who disappeared, then reappeared weeks later like nothing happened. Both times I caught myself thinking, what happened? Why couldn't they just be honest? But eventually, I realized something so powerful. My value doesn't decrease just because someone else couldn't show up. Their silence, it doesn't define me. It exposes their limitations. Your worth, that's not tied to someone else's ability to recognize it. Let me say that again. Your worth isn't tied to someone else's ability to recognize it. It's constant, whether someone validates it or not. And when you start to see ghosting through that lens, it stops feeling like rejection and starts feeling like protection. I won't lie. At first, when I got ghosted, I took it so personally. I replayed the day in my head, every word, every smile, every little moment, trying to figure out what I did wrong or what I could have done differently. It felt like personal rejection. But the second time it happened, a few months later, I saw it so differently. And honestly, it played out so different too, because that person actually came back just a few weeks later, acting like nothing had happened. Some ghosters reappear casually, without any accountability, as if their silence didn't sting, as if you were there just waiting for them. And this is where self worth really comes in. When someone disappears and then comes back, they're testing your boundaries. Opening that door rewards inconsistency. Standing firm, that's power. It says, access to me is earned, not assumed. Ghosting isn't rejection, it's protection. It's the universe's way of giving you clarity, a final test. Will you settle for the same energy that once confused you? Or will you honor yourself and your boundaries? Once you start to see ghosting that way, it becomes much easier to take the next step, choosing strength. Strength after ghosting looks like walking away quietly with dignity. I've seen friends pour their hearts into long messages, trying to get answers or trying to obtain closure. And here's what I've learned: you don't owe anyone who ghosted you anything. Not a message, not an explanation, not even your feelings. Silence is your closure. Walking away quietly is powerful. It says, I know my value. I don't need to beg for clarity from someone who's already shown me who they are. The moment you stop chasing and start choosing peace, that's real strength. On those two occasions where I was ghosted, I found ways to move forward and reclaim my energy. So, here are some things that really worked for me, and I hope they work for you too. The first is journal what you learned. Focus on the lessons, not the loss. What did this reveal about them? What did it reveal about what you want and what you deserve? If that person gave you something you felt you were missing, find ways to give that to yourself. Number two, trust yourself. Know your worth. Ghosting is about them, not about you. You are enough, and you don't need anyone to validate that. Trust that you deserve more than breadcrumbs. Number three, channel energy back into your life. Redirect your focus to your goals, friendships, hobbies, and passions. Don't let someone else's disappearance derail your rhythm. Number four, set boundaries and standards. Don't open doors for people who've already shown you who they are. Consistency, honesty, and effort, those are simply non negotiables. Number five, practice gratitude and perspective. Ghosting is a filter, not a failure. You didn't lose something valuable, you gained clarity. So remember, someone who disappears isn't breaking you. Your power, that comes from how you respond, how you protect your energy, and how you keep moving forward. If there's one thing I want you to take away from this, it's this. If you've been ghosted, here's the truth. It's not about your worth. It's about their readiness or lack of. It's not failure. It's a filter. You deserve consistency, effort, and respect. When someone disappears, let them. Your silence speaks louder than words. It says, I choose peace. I choose self-respect. I choose me. Every boundary you set, every ounce of energy you protect, every step you take moves you closer to the version of yourself who doesn't settle, doesn't chase, and knows exactly what she deserves. Ghosting doesn't close doors. It clears the path. It isn't a loss. It's an invitation to show up for yourself, to protect your energy, and to make space for the people who truly deserve to be in your life. Thanks so much for listening to this episode of The Quest for Self. If you enjoyed listening to this episode, like, follow, subscribe, comment, and share. It would mean the world. Also, don't forget to follow us on social media, The Quest for Self.